What up, YouTube? It's your boy. I'm back again. This was the dessert video that I had posted, said I was gonna do. So, that's that common martial arts. It's a Japanese flute. I love those sounds, so that's why you hear that going on in the background. All right, so I'm excited because I've been eating like tons of like food and hot sauces and elotes, corn, steaks, rice, soups, you name it. Like I've been killing it off. So I'm craving just some cozy comfort treats. So I got this right here. I know the Ralphie's did one. I think theirs was vanilla cake, but this one's just chocolate on chocolate. This is my favorite one. I like the other ones too, but this is like my absolute number one favorite. Then I have the vanilla Hostess cupcakes. I'm not eating this whole box, but I just took one out right here. And then for my drink, I have a vanilla soy beverage. And I usually drink the almond breeze, but they were out as usual, so I had to settle for what I had to get. Today I just want to do a little story time about a little bit about myself and martial arts and how much of a big, huge influence martial arts is in my life and the style that I studied and all that stuff too. I studied Kenpo, Kenpo, Kenpo karate under Grandmaster Ed Parker, but I didn't learn under his direct system, even though I did study it. My system is actually Al Tracy, who was a student of Ed Parker, right? So Ed Parker studied under James Matosi. So it starts off James Matosi. He studied from grandmasters in Japan, right? And then he brought it to America and taught it to Ed Parker. Ed Parker taught it to Elvis Presley and a whole bunch of other different people too, including Jeff Speakman himself, who was he's a Hollywood movie star now. He's a Kenpo martial artist, black belt. And then taught Al Tracy. And Al Tracy took the style, took the system, and added a lot of Chinese martial arts to it, and gave it more fluidity. You know what I'm saying? Added a lot of grappling. It's a smoother. The traditional technique is there's nothing wrong with it, as in like for traditional form, but for day-to-day combat, especially like MMA style, it had to be changed up a bit. Like Bruce Lee would say, you know, you had to add and tweak and change certain things in order for you to make it a real fighting style that wasn't like stiff form, because you're not fighting like that on the street, and that's the reality, and everybody knows that. But we're not dealing with that because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, right? So, oh, let me get my fork. Oh, 1 second. Sorry about that. All right, so I got my daughter up and my niece is over here visiting, making a whole bunch of noise. Okay, so yeah, so this is the one of our patches right here, right? So I come with empty hand combat to basically whip that ass, but we have weapons too. We have the staff, the bow, the long bow. We use nunchucks. We did study with nunchucks and stuff, but I love it. It's mainly a lot of fists, a lot of punching, a lot of blocks, a lot of grips, a lot of grapples, arm locks and stuff like that. But then we kick too. We have good kicks too. And I was always more into kicking, like Muay Thai and very extreme explosive Taekwondo. I was always into kicking, and so I'll show you the ranking. So first, of course, you start off with the white belt, right? Start up in your white. You get a few techniques. I forget now how many. I think it's 5, and then a kata, right, which is a movement, a series of movement. Then, as you advance, the next level is yellow. It starts to get more complex. I think you get. I think it's been a long time. I studied. I'll give you the history in a second. This is, you got white, then you go yellow, and then you have advanced yellow, which I have an advanced yellow. I think it's 14 techniques, so don't quote me on that. It's been 17 years since I trained. Then you go from white to yellow to orange. And I stayed in orange for a while because I wanted to master my technique, right? And then I used to come to Saturday classes for sparring with a couple of instructors, Mr. Mendoza, who was a he was a pretty big guy, pretty big Mexican cat, and he was an undercover police officer. So I used to spar with him. He showed me some good techniques for sparring and stuff like that. So he actually kept me training in my orange a little longer. So instead of just learning the techniques and then barely passing the test and then going to the next belt rank, I remastered the techniques until it was second nature to me. Because that's how they seen something inside me. Because I was always explosive. I always loved like running fast and I was very adventurous in my mind. It was always harmonious. So when it comes to like martial arts and stuff like that and technique, and I loved Bruce Lee growing up and anything martial arts or kung fu, karate too, but mainly like kung fu and ninja and all that stuff like ninjutsu and aikido. So when I joined Kenpo, I fell in love with it. So my teacher seen potential in me. I had a lot of teachers, but the main teacher was a small little Mexican dude named Mr. Pinto, and we'll go into his little situation another time. But my favorite was my two Mexican brothers that were there, Mr. Mendoza, the undercover cop, like I told you about, and then there was uh, Casey Gonzalez. And Casey, this guy was built like a tree stump, man. Like I mean, just a straight warrior. And this guy's training regime was just insane, but it was dope. But it was. I was 17 years old, like between 16 and 17 years old when I first joined. So watching this guy get down, like it was just crazy. Like he'd do probably like 20 push-ups straight, boom, 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 boom on his knuckles. Get up, hit the bag, kicks, punches, and stuff like that. Hit another 20 push-ups, then jump to the bench and bench. I think he was putting up like three something. You know what I'm saying? Three stacks. And then hit that like 10 times and then continue. He would continuously do this like over and over and over. And then he'd take a little break, have some water. Then he'll spar or he'll hit the wall. Like the wall, we had this big square thing on the wall. But I'll get more into that. Now let me break down these belts some more. So yeah, they saw potential in me. I knew I had it, right? And so they kept me here and I got my stripes and I mastered my orange. And then I was excited because I was going for my blue belt obviously because involved with the street and cripping and blue is my favorite color. I was like, yeah, I gotta get that blue belt cuz I gotta get that blue belt, you know what I'm saying? But really and truly, my favorite techniques were right here in purple. And my students, if they're watching right now, I trained two of my homies. They're a brother and a sister. I'm gonna shout them out right now. I'm gonna give a big, huge shout outs to my best and favorite students that I taught, Joey Lopez and Gina Lopez. All right, they're from the same neighborhood for me, from the South Side. Say Northern California, San Jose. And we all lived in the same neighborhood. And then they were they were training longer there before me. They were in their brown belts. I think they were third brown or something like that. But they were really really good and skilled, and I got the privilege to work with them and teach them. So it was pretty dope. So yeah, so I stayed in my purple. Well, actually, I didn't get to stay in my purple long. I got my purple, and I got my first stripe for advancement, right? For katas and technique. My form was just immaculate, and I advanced so quickly that I didn't even get a chance to move up from here to get my blue, because right after this is blue, and then you go to green, and then you go to first, second, and third brown, and then after you go first, second, and third brown, you go to your first Dan black. So that your first stripe, your first belt of black, that's your first Dan. Then you go 2, then you go all the way to 10, then it goes 10th Dan, and those 10 stripes are advancements in the belts, and that could take many many years depending on your skill level, right? So everybody is different. It's not like everybody gets the belts at the same time, right? It's your advancement, right? So Mr. Pino had a meeting with the other instructors like Thomas, Casey Mendoza, and Mr. Gonzalez, and was like, we want this guy to join with like the club, join with you guys and start teaching. At that time, there was another cat, a skinny Mexican cat named Ruben, who thought he was a shit. I sparred with him, and he couldn't handle what I had delivered, of just a hurricane of just deadly force on his ass. And this fool, went from acting like a badass and he pulled his groin and got a hernia trying to keep up with me and my leg work. And just being the type of dude I was, at that time I was humble. I could have just laid dude out straight. And I'll get to the other belt in a second. I'm just rambling on here. Let me take a bite of this cake, man. I forgot that I'm eating dessert. Check this out. Got it. That's bomb. Look at that. I apologize. I totally got. See how I get with martial arts? I forgot that I had to eat. I just get so into it. Martial arts, food, my entertainment, like my movies and shows, and the only other thing that I have a really passion for would be like women. This cake is only, how much did I pay for this? $5, $6, $7, something like that. But it tastes like something you would order in a restaurant. McCain's chocolate cake. Really good. And that ice cold soy beverage is bomb. Feels so good right now. So yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take you guys 9 to 10 minutes without eating. Sorry, I totally zoned into my zone. So then I went to rigorous training, and then eventually I earned my red belt. This is not a ranking belt. There's no techniques in this rank. Just what you learn to get to it, right? But like, you don't get a red belt and there's red belt techniques. Like these ones have techniques that you got to study to pass to get that belt, and then in that belt you have techniques and katas that you have to know and master in order to go on to the next level. This is just strictly for instructors. Well, I wasn't a full-blown instructor. I was an assistant instructor training to become an instructor, and then shortly after that he closed the school down, and I'll get into that in a second. But these are my achievements, and I've had these for many years. I had to retake my stripes on these two belts here because they were gray duct tapes, were the original ones, but because I had them for so long and trained in them so hard, the tape came off of them because they hooked it up sick, you know what I mean? But yeah, I had my days. I had my days in training, and it was really exciting. I love those days. If only that DeLorean can go back in time, like right now, I'd definitely go back. Okay. For my subbies out there, I don't know, like I'm in Canada, so McCain's is all over the place. But if McCain, I don't know how big they are, but if they're anywhere where you guys are at, then go out and get this. And get whatever drink with it. I recommend like either ice cold water, or I don't know, if you drink milk, but I don't drink milk, so a vanilla almond breeze, it's the best choice, and get it at the sugar level of 80 or less. If you go any higher than that, it's too sweet, because this is already sweet as it is. Because I love you guys so much and I have so much fun, I enjoy what I do. I could have took this and sat down and just enjoyed the show. I had my show on pause. I said, you know what? No, hold on. I gotta come back and give my subbies and my new friends that I've made through YouTube and through Instagram, I gotta give them this delicious treat right here. So I hope that you guys have this and you're eating along with me. If not, make sure you go and get something like this, or if you have this, get this. Another cake that I love that's bomb is the Sara Lee pound cake. It's also these are both refrigerated. And you can get fresh strawberries and cut them up, wash them, cut them up. What I like to do is throw them in a bowl with a little bit of cold, very cold water. Sprinkle a little bit of sugar in it, mix it up, and let it sit for like an hour or two. And the strawberries turn into like a sauce, like a strawberry sauce almost. You know what I mean? And you take a couple slices of that slab of that Sara Lee pound cake. You take a couple dollops of some of your favorite ice cream. Mine is Haagen-Dazs. And then glaze it over with that little strawberry goodness with the little liquid and stuff, and it is amazing, dude. Like, so simple. It's cheap. It's affordable. Anybody can make it. It's easy. And I'm high right now. So by the time you get this video, it'll be between Tuesday and Wednesday. This will be the bonus. I think what I'm gonna do is one video during the work week from Monday to Thursday. Have one video I put out, and it's probably most likely going to be like a treat, like a dessert. Take a bite. That's right, nice and smooth, chocolatey. Take a bite of that, take a sip, relax, kick your feet up, enjoy. And then this one, this black belt belonged to my teacher when he got his. You get a few of these. They give you probably like 4 or 5 or more belts. This is just the standard black belt, but then they had, I think he had like 3 or 4, but he showed me 3. I'll never forget when he got it. He got his plaque. He got his pictures taken with the Grandmasters. He got his new gis, which is the outfit, right? And embroidered all nice and fat down the neck, the sides and everything. Nice stuff on the back, you know what I mean? I think even the sleeves, it was like all embroidered up nice. And his 3 or 4 black belts were twice as thick and fat than this, heavy, like the heavy duty ones. And they were embroidered all down here. I think it was like in red and white, or red and silver. Like the writing on the side. I don't know if it was Japanese or Chinese, but I don't remember. And then he had our insignia. It's so dope. And then he had his, I think Mr. Pinto was the 3rd or 4th stripe on his belt, which is Dan, 4th Dan, I think, which is pretty damn high. But his belts were sick, and he let me keep one. So I kept one, made sure. Those ones look really, really brand new, like I just got them like a year ago, because I keep my stuff really, really good. Like I take care of my stuff. So yeah, anyway, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna just try this for you guys real quick, and then I'm out here. I'm gonna go watch this show. I'm watching Haters Back Off with this nerdy broad. I like this girl, man. She's off the hook. I seen her on YouTube, but I just started watching some of her videos, and then I seen her. I was like, oh, okay, so she blew up off of YouTube, and she went to doing TV shows. I figured I'd go with the vanilla, since I already got all this chocolate right here, right? So, for inquiring minds, I'm 41 years old. My first name is Sean. I'm about 5'10 and a half, 5'11. I weigh, my weight goes up and down. Right now I'm about 190. It'll be like 188, 190. It's up and down. I've never been past 195 in my life. I was born in September on the 9th, 1976. So I got that old school flavor, and I keep it retro like that. Born here in Canada. Moved when I was 9.5 years old to the States. Grew up in Cali. Came back and visited Canada twice. Said, you know what, it's time for a change as I got older, just to better my life. And I liked it. I liked how it was out here. And then I moved. You know, I've been here ever since. I've been here for about 16 years now. So I love it. It's popping. I just wish we had like Jack in the Box and other stuff out here, but we don't. But you know, I think eventually in time we will. But we'll talk about that on another show. I just wanted to break down a little history about, you know, what I was into, my martial arts, and that's pretty much it. So anyway, you guys have a great week, and I will see you this weekend for more mukbangs, more story times, and I'm looking forward to checking out everybody else's videos too. So I'll be silent for a couple days and watch everybody's stuff, and you'll see me in the comments, all right? But until then, you guys be safe. I love you guys. Thanks for everything. Thanks for all my subbies, my new subbies. Welcome to the channel. This is your gang now, all right? It's your boy Snoopy Eats. Peace out.